A very warm welcome to all present here. To introduce tonight's theme, consider this thought. It's not if a breach happens, it's when. Today's topic captures this reality cyber resilience. Why organizations must prepare for the breach they cannot prevent. I am Yashwant Vemana Reddy, and it's my privilege to anchor today's session. This lecture is part of our Cyber Sunday series, an initiative designed to promote awareness, learning, and informed engagement in the field of cyber safety, law, and technology. Through Cyber Sundays, we bring together experts and practitioners to share real world insights into cyber threats, governance, and investigation strategies. So let's get into the session. It's a great privilege to welcome our esteemed guest speaker for this 25th Cyber Sunday, Mr. Lino Lazar sir. Mr. Lazar sir is an information security and IT governance professional with 22 years of experience across cybersecurity, GRC, risk management, and privacy. An expert in ISO 27001, TISAX, and ITIL. He has held major initiatives in cloud security, identity management, and security automation, and is a trusted advisor to business and technology leaders alike. We are honored to have him with us tonight to guide us from traditional defense to true cyber resilience. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to Mr. Lino Lazar, sir. Without a further ado, I would like to hand over the mic to you, sir.
Thank you, Yashwant. Thank you, everyone. I'm privileged and honored to be here with a large audience and sharing my experience throughout the sessions. One request is, shall I share my screen so I will have my own control with the presentation, if that's fine?
Yes, sir, it's fine.
Thank you. And I believe my camera is visible and everyone able to see me. My audio is clear.
Yeah,
And
yes,
we are
sir.
good to start.
Yes, sir. Both are the audio and video is clear, sir.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to share my screen in 1 minute. Okay, I am ready and good to start, right?
Yes, sir.
So once again, thank you everyone and being the session. Please make it interactive. Have any questions between? Please feel free to stop me and ask questions. I'm happy to be answered whatever possible right away. Otherwise, I will get back to you with the at the earliest. I'll share my contact details and yes, looking forward to connect and be in touch with everyone. So so I will start from the cyber resilience. It is the session is not to buy or add any more tools because there is a mindset set shift and mindset shift is which is or requesting or demanding by the industry because of the new era of threats and since the threats landscape and security practitioners, we should have our own strategy to be relevant and consistent in the era of automated and AI driven threat landscape. So this is where I'm going to talk about. For more than 2 decades, cybersecurity has primarily been approached as a prevention problem. So everyone knows, focused on keeping attackers out rather than preparing for the reality that breaches can and do occur by building a big enough wall. Let's example, we build our firewalls, EDRs, XDRs, and perimeter firewalls. So this is all we're helping somewhere 4 or 5 years back until then. Then now the industry has got changed, or the attack surface, as I stated, attack surface and attack vector, attack person has got changed, and they're coming with a new type of tool that using what is called new techniques, new tactics. So the era is over. The perimeter security era is over because after COVID, we everyone started working from home, started working from cafes, started working from aircraft, buses, so and so, where the perimeter firewall is not controlled by enterprise security team, where they will have a full security. So this is very relevant topic. So when Nasha Foundation came to me, I was very interested to discuss about this. So the organization that survived 2026 are in the one who never got breached, but they are the one who assumed they would be, and they built for it. So that should be the approach, or the discussion point that I'm going to keep it here. So any questions, as stated, it is welcome throughout. So we are headed, we are going to cover this five five modules, or five areas in this session. This is about the cyber, and the cyber threat landscape has changed dramatically. Attack vectors have become more sophisticated, and attack surface has been expanded beyond traditional boundaries. As I stated, the perimeter security or firewall guarded era is gone. In this session, we will explain this shift and what they mean for cyber resilience. So look into the models which threat actors use. It is no more a login. Sorry, it's in a vice versa. It is no more in a break-in. It is a login. They use a legitimate accounts to log in and breach accounts. And again, there are 5 threat facing that SMBs faces every day. One is remote access. Everyone knows about it. Identity, that is the new perimeter. Ransomware. Ransomware is now automated. Supply chain attack. We trust more tools than a person, where we are going to have, or we are experiencing surprises every other day from large players. And AI, definitely, AI brings a new landscapes throughout cyber. Uh, there is a good and there is a bad. So I'm going to cover a case study, that is a Handala vs Striker. You might have heard about Striker. A Fortune company got attacked by a Handala group. So we will cover that, and a real business impact. What breaches cost actually looks like beyond the ransom. So the last will be preparing, how we can be prepared for a breach you cannot prevent. So every section ends with what you can do is what my approach. So wherever you have queries or you want a technical or more detail in there required, please feel free to ask. So coming back to our topic, attackers increasingly use stolen credential, trusted tools, and everyday access point to operate undetected, not exploits, not 0 days. 0 days exploits are the old era, but now it's a shift from attacker side. So we should be planned for that. Think about your own environment. How many alerts would it fire if you or me logged in with a valid username? I use my credential super, I mean, that has a super privilege or admin privilege, root privilege. None of the system will trigger any alert. So that is the new mindset from attackers. Those are targeting the entities or SMBs. So this is again a trusted exploited and not perimeter broken. So moving to the next slide. Most successful attacks follow the same playbook. Yes, it is the same playbook which they use. They gain access first. After recon and after cyber kill chain, the initial steps, they gain access. So we will cover from gain access. They use or they gain access using it can be a phishing or it can be a credential stuffing, purchased credentials from dark web. Then they started moving internally using a legitimate tool. It can be a remote management tool or it can be a mobile device management tool or UEM, PowerShell, admin consoles, etc. And what they do is they disable defense because that would be the first attempt when they log in or when they got a privilege. They disable security, I mean they disable backups or delete backup access toolings or they disable the privileged access for other admins. So that is the third step, where fourth step is the destroy or steal. In here in this presentation or this the slide, I would like to stress the step 3. This is where the more damage that the threat actor brings in. They delete completely a backup. We everyone think that backup is there, so we can restore it from a backup, or this MFA access is there, so I can use login using a legitimate. But that is where the third step, disable defense. Every attacker's first target, disabling that. Attackers normally exploit normal business activities to avoid detection. So basically, using the what is called the legitimate login or the trusted login, they are easy to move laterally. So this is the I mean report from state of I mean this is the report available in the research. It's state that 78% of SMBs fear a serious cyber attack could put them out of business entirely. See, this isn't about a fear. It is about understanding today's reality. Cyber attack can go from initial access to full breach in just a few hours. As you know, decades ago, when vulnerability is exposed or a vulnerability, I mean, the what is called the organization had week or even months to patch a critical vulnerability after it announced or it is published. Today, that window has shrunk to hours, and in some cases, attackers exploit vulnerability before they are publicly disclosed. Which means the trend report, if you look at 2014 and 2016, 2026, sorry, 2014 to 2026, in 2024, sorry, 2014, it was months or it is more than a month to exploit the published vulnerability. But today, at the present moment, it can be disclosed even before disclosing the vulnerability using AI tools. You all are, I mean, I'm sure you all are following the AI news and the power of the new tool announced by cloud. So this is where the era we are going through. And I'm jumping to a next slide where we will look at how attackers gain access. Okay, sorry. I believe everyone is able to hear me, listen. I mean, you're able to follow me.
Yeah,
If you
yes,
want
sir.
to slow down, yes, I can.
We can hear you seriously.
Okay, thank you. So, as listed in the second slide, the five types of threats that SMB is every day facing it. The first is remote access. Yes, definitely. The remote access and VPN vulnerabilities that attackers are actively exploiting. And you might have heard about 40 blade. 40 blade is nothing but it is a new vulnerability. It is not a new vulnerability, but it is a kind of large scale credential compromise campaign targeting internet facing 40 gate firewalls and 40 SSL VPNs. Why? Because they are able to gain user login credentials that is legitimate, that is not disabled or that is not deleted the time of configuration. So basically this is called a misconfiguration or the human error, but this is available and this active campaign is still going on. I believe you might have heard about. If you need more details I can share it with. And we all in an understanding that we have MFA and we are covered. The actual point is not that enabling MFA is essential, but it is not enough. Especially if in a VPN configuration, session tokens or sorted secrets are not secured and regularly rotated, it is easy for attackers can bypass MFA. So here, if you look at attackers achieved full system compromise within an hour of gaining initial remote access. So if imagine we all started working from home and our VPN has compromised, which the enterprise society is unable to or track it or find it because it is someone else login. It is one of
Excuse me,
us
sir.
login, they are using it. Let's example, they are using a Lenovo. So the security engineers or the security analysts will not be give any attention to that login because they are uh, pretended that this is a legitimate user and legitimate user access. And if I compromised, I do have a role-based access where the attackers directly can take over it. So this this remote access and VPN vulnerability is one of the threat I would say, or I will call it in SMBs that face it today. And in the next slide, we will see how attackers uh, actually gain access to the legitimate or using a legitimate login to gain access to the corporate system.
Sir,
So So here
sir,
again, stolen. You can see the title: stolen logins and identity abuse. Rather than hacking a system directly, attackers increasingly gain access using a valid username and password, appearing a legitimate user from the moment they arrives. This we already discussed in the previous slides, but this is the slide exactly I designed for the discussing stolen logins and identity abuse. A single compromised employee credential can give an attacker the same access right as that employee. Imagine a user, a system administrator or network administrator. a password, credential, MFA access gained by a user, sorry, the threat actor, what can or what damage that person can bring into the organization. So this has happened through phishing emails. There, I mean, the phishing emails are nowadays more precious, more targeted. Spare phishings are comes up with a more tactics that everyone can fall into it. And weak or reused password across systems. See, everyone has a. I mean, I had. I mean, I'm openly admitting that some years back I had that bad habit keeping same password for everything, my personal, my enterprises. Then when the industries uh, got started changing, and when largely the common password mm, uh, got using for identity abuse. So this is where I realized that's not the right way. So I started using tools to generate passwords. I keep what is called the password manager. So I recommend everyone to use that if the wherever it is possible. Apple is providing with the passwords, and there is a different tools available. So use some tools, so you can at least avoid using one password, single password for every platform. And the third is compromised account purchased on dark web largely available for systems. So these are the main or the three areas where attackers or bad actor can have the credential details or credential directory. So if you look at then uh, the numbers, 83% of email threats were phishing. That is very true. Every day we are getting one phishing email, right? See, we everyone is getting that. And 48% of surge in business email compromise attacks in May 2025 alone. This is the published report by FBI. And the scams alone cost business 2.77 billion that year. So this is the report from FBI. So you can imagine the stolen logins and identity abuse, how it impacts the what is called the industry. So identity not the network perimeter anymore, and it is now the primary battleground, I would say. So I'm jumping to the next slide. If you have any questions in the slide, we can have a discussion. Okay, I'm jumping to the next slide. So again, ransomware that moves faster than ever. So with the help of AI and the era of AI, everything is automated, and system is capable of targeting the weak systems and compromise, encrypt the device storage and the other logins what they have it. This is as a reality now, and this is completely autonomous, where human never been in the picture. So autonomous means it works 24/7. It doesn't take a coffee break or cigarette breaks. So that is the reality where we are in. And if you look at the trends, 40% of small business hits by ransomware in the past years, and 500 plus percentage surge in average ransomware payment. So if we don't have any option, most companies, entities, they opt for a ransom payment, and 70% of surge in ransomware victims globally. So if you look at the what is called the order of operation in the fourth step I have mentioned in the slide. First, how attacker approach this ransomware, ransomware chain. They first gain access via compromised credentials, and they exfiltrated data before encryption, targeted backups first to block recovery, then encrypt the system. But here the danger part is again the third one, targeted backup first to block recovery, because this is, if recovery is impossible, the pressure to pay ransom is maximized. So this is where the attacker, what is called the attacker win. If your backup strategy assumes you will have time to react, that assumption is now false. Immutable isolate backup aren't a nice to have. Means, see, we all are pretended that the attacks are, the backups are there. We can anytime restore, as I stated even earlier. But the way the poor designed architecture, it's allow the attacker to delete. So what? That is the question here. So you should have a proper strategy to have a different 3-to-1 model backup strategy, where you will have a on-premise, off-premise, and cloud backup strategy, where all the backups should be encrypted, protected with some micro segmented networks, so and so as the best practices here the most organization follows. So in the next, ransomware is the threat everyone sees, but again, the next slide is going to discuss about the software that we all are trusted. So I'm jumping to a next slide.
Sir, excuse me.
Yes,
Sir, Srisha Reddy has put a question in the chat box. Should I read it out, sir?
yes, ransomware as a service, please throw some lights. Uh, It is same like a, pay-as-you-go model. As we opt for mobile, we can buy some credits for some period. We can use that services. So this is same as like I'm just trying to connect it with the services. So there are a threat actors. They do a sub business, because as I stated, there is industry grows. When the IT industry grows, the landscape is expanded. The opportunities are uh, uh, grown together. And again, when there is a what is called the good thing and bad thing. So this is there in the IT or the information landscape, where ransomware as a service, I'll take an example. I want Shrisa's system to be locked. I can, and I don't have any expertise, or I don't know what to do or how to break in it. So there is a services available. It is quite difficult to reach them, because we should have at least the expertise to randomly browse through the dark market. Otherwise, some contacts are approaching that even to a legitimate business, they are approaching to target the other business. So yes, yes, exactly, logbit. So we can hire the service to, it's more than a service, it's more than expertise. So they do on behalf of us the practice, and they log the system. Is that
Uh,
clear, Srisha?
Actually, I like to my knowledge, as I understood, sir, with my apology and all, I think this is a service where they sell their tools for hacking, I think. So it is a service provided to hack the systems. Like now they are providing that services to the hackers. Okay, hacker can go and purchase different kinds of tools, and he can hack this, he can conduct this ransomware. So now it is like vice versa. It has become an industry where the hackers are selling the tools for hacking the systems. Now it has become as a like service oriented, and there are now this has become very dangerous, like.
You put it in a correct way, Srisha. Lockbit, yes, they provide the tool where hacker, the hacker doesn't have a much expertise because see the technology changes over the period. There is a autonomous or AI come in the picture. So AI or any new technology that can more advanced than the previous ransomware tools that can be available or can be purchased and use it. That is Lockbit is kind of a ransomware tool which we can avail the service. But as a whole, I was answering to your previous question as a service. Why this use? It is for hacking or it is for exploiting. It is not for the good deed. Am I correct, Srisha?
Yes, yes, sir. It is for hacking. They are now established as a service organization where they provide hacking tools and softwares.
Yes, I totally agree. And one more thing, Srisha, no any legitimate company will try to encrypt the other system or others servers, right?
No,
So
it is not legitimate. It is
it
illegitimate.
doesn't. Yes,
Yes, yes. But like previously, individuals used to conduct ransomware. Now it has become as a service where these people can
exactly.
take the services of them and they will conduct. They will sophisticated softwares and all they can purchase, and now they are conducting this ransomware.
And to the extent, Srisha, there is a syndicate working behind. It is earlier it was a person or a group of peoples, but there is a syndicate now. They have channels where they can share information. They can share the what is called the new techniques, new tools. Uh, I can avail the others services. You can avail somebody else services. So this is, I think, we are going to cover when the use case we are going to discuss with.
Yeah, yeah. There are many papers latest published that this ransomware should be declared as an organized crime. There's many researches going on, but it is now early to India and all.
Yes, in some extent, if see, there was a gap where ransomwares are reduced. Like if you look at in 2022 and 2024 a period, it was somewhere organization managed to reduce. But after the surge of AI, it is again started. If you look at the this 2026, the number of ransomware impacted is higher than the previous years
Yes, yes. Thank you,
because
thank.
such tools, such services, such availabilities are there.
Yes, yes, sir. Thank you, thank you.
So can I move?
Sure, sir.
Okay, thank you. So it is nothing but the as an organization or as a defender standpoint, our focus should be the strategy should be to protect the system at any cost to avoid any ransom or any encryption attempt from outside. There is a multiple steps that I have explained. You can have a 3 to 1 backup strategy. You can have a your own BitLocker, which is encrypted, which cannot be re-encrypted, and you can what is called again you can have a different micro-segmented network where all of your backups stored where attacker cannot be accessed because of the ACLs and rules controls put in the place, so and so. Okay, jumping to a next slide where we will uh, talk about software or the software supply chain risk. So this is another attack vector uh, that many industries are nowadays facing with. So, if you look at attackers increasingly target the vendors and tools. Why? Because the tools are legitimate. The tools organization purchase for a legitimate purpose. They have some ERP they purchase for their entire company's workflows and management of cash flows, CRM. I mean, what is called the CRM means the customer relationship management, their procurement, their asset management, so and so. So these tools are legitimate for the organization. So attackers now targeting the supply chain or the supply chain of the softwares. Even so, routine software updates brings a problem to the organization. Let's assume your organization is running smoothly, and you have a software, and one fine day, the software updates impacted. So, if you look at the recent research reports or recent damage that happened to the organization, is half of them are through or half, or I will say a little more than through a supply chain, because um, the the use of tools, it is more after the SaaS or after the what is called the SaaS adoption, the cloud adoption. So I could bring one instance that you might have heard about. You are in the same IT industry. You might have heard about Axios NPM supply chain compromised. In this March 2026, attackers compromised the maintenance NPM account. So what happened? The published malicious version of Axios into that. So the supply chain, one of the most widely used JavaScript HTTPS library with over 100 million weekly downloads, is got impacted with that simple attempt or simple manipulation. The malicious release remained available only for a few hours, but what happened is those that small window, whoever attempt or downloaded installed this version, got impacted with this malware, and that is again impacted their developer workstation and the CI/CD pipeline. Or another example I can take it as in July 2024. You might have heard about this was the largest outage that was reported in the history, which is the routine software update from CrowdStrike impact, or CrowdStrike caused one of the largest outage. The outage of Windows. So, as per reports, around 8.5 million Windows device crashed worldwide. Crashed worldwide, disrupt the airline operations, hospitals, banks, retails, government sectors, etc. The incident wasn't caused by hackers; it was caused by a trusted software update. So, as a short, you can do everything right internally. You can patch, train, monitor, but still be exposed because of the vendor you trust and they had a bad day. Because this software supply chain also brings, I want to say, the software supply chain also brings the impact to business operation. So I'm moving to a next slide. AI-driven attack now. AI is the multiplier across every prior threat category. Better phishing, hyper-personalized deepfake, audio videos, BEC, and a faster malware iteration. So this is very accurate now. Highlight the awareness action gap. 83% of recognize the threat, but only 51% have any policy in place. That 32 point gaps is worth calling out explicitly as the most fixable vulnerability in the whole talk. It costs a policy document and some training time, no technology budget. It is all required the some quality time to make the governance. So any question from A? Otherwise, I'll straight jump into the next section where we will start the case study. So here in this session, we were covering what is called the supply chain AI, supply chain AI, and identity, remote access. So any questions from there? Okay, I assume there's no question, so I'm jumping to the next. So this is a case study I would bring into your attention. Uh, this is where the legitimate impact that impact or legitimate action that impact the entire organization. On March 11, 2016, 2026, employee at a global medical device manufacturer turned on their computer and found them wiped. You know why? It is not encrypted or it is not ransomed. It is wiped. The login screen had been replaced with a hackers group logo. No ransomware found, no custom malware found. So how do you cause that much damage without deploying a single malicious file? So this is where I would like to bring your attention. An insider breach can take the entire organization into a toss. The company called Stryker, a corporation, a real Fortune 500 company, 25 billion revenue medical technology company with 56K employees, operation in 60 plus countries. This is not a hypothetical or a small business scare story. It has happened to one of the best resourced IT organization. They had a best world class IT infrastructure. The threat actor, Handala, also known as Void Manticore, is an Iran-aligned activist group believed to be linked to an Iranian Ministry of Intelligence and Security. The group combines disruptive cyber attacks with the propaganda and psychological operation. Why I bring this? It is a geopolitical issue. So even SMBs or enterprises nowadays facing this issue, or they can be a target at the. I mean, today if it is a striker, tomorrow anyone can be a targeted due to some geopolitical reasons. So that is the reason I bring it this into the as a discussion point. And still the recovery is ongoing. So I'm jumping to a more detail. So the target was a global Fortune 500 company wiped out overnight. And the report stated it is within a 3 hours, the entire 20 million devices got wiped out. That is including servers, laptops, and mobile phones across office in 79 countries. The attackers claim 50 terabytes of data exfiltrated before the wipe was targeted. And Handala, I mean, again, also not, I mean, sorry, the number of 20 million device claimed wipe operation disrupted 79 countries. And they said the impact or this wipeout has impacted every users or every employees cannot access their system. So how do you wipe 20 million device without a single piece of malware? That is a part. That is the part every security leaders in the room needs to be understand. So I'm jumping to that. So again, I want to be precious about what happened here because the mechanism matters more than a headline. Microsoft didn't ship a vulnerability, right? Intune is a legitimate tool that Windows administrator use to manage endpoints. It is not only because of Microsoft Intune. It can be happen to any device. It can be sorry, any platform. It can be happen to Google authenticate. I mean Google tools or Jamf or Manage Engine. You take any tool. This can be happen to any tool. Why? Because the researchers point out that the phishing or infostealer malware as the likely entry point for the Intune credential theft. So they approach, they compromised the existing administrator account and created a new global administrator account. Why? Because uh, they created and they owned for their own safety. Maybe the compromised account, if the company came to know, they will definitely block that. So to maintain the accessibility, they have created a one more account and they maintain that until the action triggered. Then again, with the global admin right, they had essentially unlimited control over the Intune tenant because that was the privilege with administrator and fleet wide wipe. No, I mean this was even the first day. I mean the first time I read about the news, I was surprised. Oh, this is kind of a tool I am also using in my organization. So one command issued once triggered simultaneously across the entire enrolled device fleet. Every laptop, every phone, every server under management was wiped out. Why? Because an attacker with a sufficient administrative privilege has a kill switch for your or their entire device fleet. So here again, how it work is they first they wipe the device, corporate laptops, phones, factory reset the real time that's happened, and MFA broken. Authenticator apps lived on the wiped phones. Employee were locked out of the very system needed to respond. Employee lockout, unable to log into email, Teams, or VPN. Some lost personal data, photos, and again the attacker displayed their logos in their login on the employee logins. So if you look at MFA broken, we have practice. We keep everything on a one single device. So this is what happened to them also, the employees. They keep their MFA to log in the multi-factor authentication to log into their system. Uh, got also a victim for the swipe. So they were unable to access the system or regain the access to the system. And employee logged out completely because VPN MFA doesn't work. The physical access they don't have it because it's a SaaS or cloud. And this impact the organization with a what is called the defame also, because the attacker displayed their presence and they said we are completely take over it. So this wasn't a failure of technology, it was a failure of trust and design, because legitimate tool are the attack surface now. Not a bug, not a vulnerability disclosure, nothing to patch. The feature worked correctly for an attacker with a legitimate looking credential, exactly as it would for a real administrator or managing a loss form. Admin access, concentration risk, ask the room directly, how many global administrator does your organization? I mean, basically, I'm asking to everyone, do we keep the global administrator access, or how many global administrator access privilege we will keep it or maintain it? And again, from a recovery infrastructure point of view, if you break a glass account, your MFA app, your incident response runbook, or your communication channel all live in a device managed by the same system. An attacker just compromised. So I was thinking about one of the past what is the called? I mean the message. A funny message I have read about it. One person was sitting very sadly, so other one asked what happened. So this person responded, my server is crashed. So other person said, so you can restore from the same, you can restore the backup, right? So this person responded, the backup was in the same system. So this is what exactly happened here. So immediately the national agencies came into the picture. They advised everyone to follow and had and the endpoint management, so and so, and least privilege. Admin roles have segregations. Only the legitimate users should have the access to it. And phishing resistance MFA should be implemented. Multi-admin approval, which means one person initiate the trigger for wipe, the other should be approved for that, verifying it is a legitimate access. It is called a make a checker process in the IT industry. So this is also bring into the system continuous monitoring and logging. So this is where we everyone fail, or at least the striker fails, because legitimate user trigger the wipe. So every admin account what is called the actions to be monitored and logging is the compulsory mandate released by the national agency. So coming to the our topic, the real business impact. cyber incidents are not IT problem; they are a business crisis, right? So you at least came to an understanding what it impact if an attack or a breach happens, right? So as per the study or research says, 58 percentage figure is about a spend discipline. More than half of SMB overspend their planned cybersecurity budget in 2024 because they were planning or they have spent their uh, most budget to have a tool that to prevent, not to come back. And if you look at the potential impact, operational downtime, so this striker got this operational impact, damage to customer trust and brand reputation. Definitely, their customers will double. I mean, they will think twice before they work again with the striker, right? So recovery costs that often exceed with the initial incident response fee. Definitely, the recovery cost is not only building and bringing the infrastructure back to operational, but there is a regulatory and compliance fines. If you look at there are if you look at the EU, there is a GDPR. India, the upcoming DPDPA. Everyone stressed that this is not a uh, what is called sorry. This is not a small play because GDPR itself, it says violation can cost 20 million euro or 4% of global annual revenue. If there is a breach happened due to or a misconfiguration of the certain guidelines. And DPDP also as a 250 crores, and I believe you everyone knows that. So, what I'm trying to say is the cyber incidents is not only a IT problem. It is a business problem and it's a board problem. This has to be uh, this can be handled with the right strategy, right mindset, shift altogether. So that is where we are going to jump into. Can we prevent it, or are we ready when it happens? So this is where the resilience comes in picture. All the five stages and case studies you came to know what impact that bring to a business if some breaches happen. So here from here we are going to discuss about how we can be ready for such outage or such business outage. I mean such impact. So everything up to this point has been about how attackers get in and what happen when they do. So in threat environment defined by speed and trust, specifically in the era of AI, reactive security is no longer sufficient on its own. Resilience is what closed the gap between we got breached and we are survived. So this is a moment, prevention tries to stop the breach. Resilience assume the breach and ask whether the organization keep functioning anyway. So it can be a workaround or it can be a direct fix or it can be if something breach or if something happened to the organization. So this is the five pillars of cyber resilience. Uh, this clearly state that if identity impacted. So identity governance, it is one of the core pillar in the cyber resilience because identity access management, it called IAM. It is the stake high stake now, and RBAC role based access and least privilege. Only the person should have access those to perform his own her duty. That should be our primary role assignment practice. And phishing resistance MFA that should be there, and continuous review of who hold what privilege and immutable recovery. Definitely, we should have isolated and tested backups, and it has to be tested. It means it is not verifying backup is completed or not, but it should be another way to restore and check whether the backups as works as expected. And continuous monitoring, it has to be included the legitimate user behavior also, how and when they are accessing at late, early morning 2 o'clock. If somebody, some administrator account is logging in, that is not going to be legitimate in 99 percentage. And incident response, again, we should be ready and ready for the incident response, and that should be aligned with DPDP or any other compliance practices which might certain guidelines, or it has to be aligned. I would say, and the security culture, definitely the trainings help the organization, entities, and SMBs, everyone. It's a personal, even to personal. The training make them aware and avoid such incidents. So this is kind of an action plan I created. So what you can do it within 90 days. You can have a audit as a first 30 days. Who has having a global admin root privilege, confirm backups are immutable and isolated, and enable phishing resistant MFA admin control for every account that is using in the not partially, because one account compromise can reach to another account, and that can be compromised. So every account should be restricted with MFA. And the next 60 days, you can plan for harden, apply least privilege and RBAC controls. This is more into the user privilege, how and what they can access. And this is based on the need to know manner. And require a multi-admin approval for high impact actions. Just a full backup restore, not just a backup job. Rehearse. Then in a 90 days, you can rehearse, run a tabletop incident response exercise, establish out of the box communication for exercise, refresh AI aware phishing training or wide. So I'm going to be in the last slide. This is the takeaway what we discussed from 7. And I think my time also about to close. So okay. So what to remember when you walk out of this room? I'm still stressing the people, attackers, or I would say the bad actors or bad people. They are trying to break in. Sorry, they don't break in. They use legitimate login, and legitimate admin tools like Intune can be become a weapons in the wrong hand. So as the other person asked the question about a ransom as a service, it is with whom, if it is a legitimate or ethical purpose, the tools we are using, yes, it is for the prevention, it is for the better defense. But if it is for a breaking someone else, then the term change. So it is with whom and with and how he handles, that is where the shift. And backups and recovery plans must survive the same incident that takes down everything else. So we should have a proper plan. If we have a MFA, we should have a backup plan to it is configured to some other numbers where OTP will send out, or email can be receive OTPs, so and so. Again, resilience beats prevention as the measure of readiness. Assume the breach. We everyone should assume the breach. We should be ready to face the situation like a striker. It may not be a striker situation, but someone else come with some other strategy. But we have to be surveyed. So we should have a plan to resilience. So assume the breach and build for what happens next. So thank you everyone. I'm ending my session with this slide. I'm open to question and answers if you have any.
Thank you so much, sir, for such an enlightening session. This discussion has set a strong foundation for all of us as learners and practitioners, highlighting exactly why proactive preparation and resilience are vital in today's unpredictable digital landscape. We are now opening the floor for questions from the participants. Please drop your questions in the chat. If you wish to speak, raise your hand and we'll call you one by one. We'll take as many questions as time allows.
I could see one more question from Srisha. She was asking any SOP to be followed. The
Yes.
question is related to the same ransomware as a service.
No, sir. Like organizations usually follow some standard like 27,000, 31,000, like that. So any standard which they have to follow or for cyber security and all, especially organizations.
See, as per my experience and my practice, this tools, sorry, the frameworks, the standards make us in a better position where we can be better. Uh, uh, I mean, in a position where we can be a better control of our system or infrastructure or a security management. But SOP, yes, SOPs or the playbooks, the frameworks, definitely it will help. It help us to done 60% of our job. That's for sure. But the 40% is make aware what is happening around us, how we can be prepared, what kind of investment we needed. Is it the investment I'm doing it for right purposes? So and so questions should be always stay with our security leaders, so we can come up with the answers also. I think I answer your question, or if you want,
It's okay, sir. Like organizations usually follow some sort of ISO standards. So like uh, I wanted to know in India what standards they are following. I'm not sure like that. It's okay.
okay. Again, this is a different, different question. Yes, organization follow the standards is based on their industry. Let's example, if it is a financial or a banking sector, they follow PCI DSS and they follow ISS 27000. And if it is a automotive, I'm from automotive background and I work for automotive. We have ISO 27000 plus we have a TISAX. TISAX is a supplier assessment standard for the EU, the European, Europeans. So if you look at retail, they will have ISO 27000. And if you look at some SaaS platforms, they will have a ISO 27000 and SOC 2. So it is specifically industry and or a domain specific, and this all ensure their standards to level up, and they say what can have, what to have it and what not to have it. But it's more than that, the tick box, I will say. You choose your standard or your framework, and you work against that. And I would like to add two more frameworks. One is a NIST and another one is a CAS, which I really practice on my wherever I work, because this brings a bus controls into a real infrastructure security platforms, because it helps us. Let's example password policy. ISO 27000 says we should have a password policy, but how to have it, the ISO 27000 doesn't mention it. But NIST says we should have a password policy with 12 character alphanumeric combination, so and so. So you have to be combined all together.
Sir, yes, sir. Like that is like constitution to your cyber security. Like everything is there. Yes.
Yes, if you are a starter or if you are in your beginning of your career, I will suggest you start following this and CS. That will help you a lot. So you can have a controls, what kind of controls. And when you start practicing ISO or SOC 2 or PCI DSX, you can map these controls against their
Yes,
recommendation.
yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much.
With this enlightening cyber Sunday session, we now come to the end of our program. We sincerely hope that today's session proved highly informative, enriching, and thought provoking for everyone present. On behalf of Naksh Foundation and Project Cybershield, we extend our deepest gratitude to Mr. Lino Lazar sir for conducting such an insightful session. Your profound expertise, lucid guidance, and practical frameworks have greatly enhanced our understanding of managing organizational cyber risk. Before we conclude, we invite you to join the Volunteer for Your Community campaign 2026 by Project Cybershield to become a game change maker and conduct cyber awareness sessions in your community. To register, simply scan the QR code on your screen. We kindly request all the participants to complete the post-assessment form by scanning the QR code displayed on your screen. Please note that certificate will be issued only upon successful submission of the feedback form. If there is any query regarding the session or certificate, you can mail it event@naksh.org.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Uh, Sir, actually, I want to say that we can got the certificate by just fill the QR code there. Sir, am I right?
Can you repeat it, please?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, can you repeat it, please?
Sir, actually, I want to say, sir, you can got the certificate by scan the QR code right here. It's okay, sir?
Your voice is breaking. Can you speak clearly again, please?
Yeah, I want to say
You can scan the QR code here.
our
Then
certificate will issue after scanning this QR code. Am I right, sir?
Yeah, like you can scan the QR code, then you'll be getting certificate.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
No, thank you. And you can scan the QR code and submit the post-assessment form by 8:15. So thank you for being a part of this learning journey. We look forward to welcoming you again in our upcoming sessions. Until then, stay informed, stay vigilant, stay secure, and continue contributing towards a safer and a more resilient digital world. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye. Take care and have a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you.
Welcome, sir. So I request all the participants once again to scan the QR code and to submit the post-assessment form by 8:15 p.m. I request my team, like after screening this post-assessment form, kindly even display the pre-assessment form because a few of the students, like they did not fill out the form, it seems.
If you have filled the post assessment feedback form, you can leave the room.